A well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. That is the Second Amendment in the Bill of Rights, and it was made to say that no government, ours or foreign, could ever take away our guns. We've all been in a lockdown drill before, where the school would say that there was an active shooter in the building or just a dangerous person in general, and we would all hide in the corner and turn off all the lights and be as quiet as possible so that no one knew who all was in the room. It's unfortunate that we have to do that, but it's just something we have to do nowadays. In my speech today, I will talk about if there's a solution to gun violence and if measures can be implemented, as well as if we can guarantee that we have our citizen rights and still have safety from gun violence. So, is there any real solution? Honestly, no. Because guns are American. If you look at the tag on your shirt or in your sock or in your pants, you'll see a tag that most likely says made in China, because that's what China expertise is in. They make stuff. They make a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff that we have in our homes are made in China. And the same goes for America with guns. America makes a lot of guns. In 2019, 9,052,628 guns were made in America. And of those guns, 554,237 were exported out of America. And I got that statistic from statistic.com. Now, I'm not the best at math, but I feel pretty confident in saying that that's less than half the guns made being shipped out of the US. So you can't really just have a solution to gun violence if you still have guns around. And you can't really just get rid of the guns, because guns are an American thing that Americans do. Texas alone had over 800,000 guns owned legally in 2019. So can any measures be implemented to ensure that we have some type of safety from guns and hopefully lessen the gun violence that happens? And we absolutely can have measures implemented. We already have background checks. As of 2019, 28.3 billion background checks had happened, and not all of them were approved. In fact, less than half of them were approved to be able to own a gun. So we already have some stuff in place, but we could also teach people about guns, teach people that guns aren't just toys. They're not just something you see in video games and Nerf blasters and paintball and airsoft. Teach them that it's a tool, something like an axe, because an axe can definitely hurt people just like a gun can. We could also have mandatory mental health checks for people that do own guns. Have them come in, and every year or every 6 months, just a regular interval, have them come in and get a mental check to make sure that they're still mentally capable of having a gun and not being a danger to other people. Because a lot of gun violence that happens comes from people that just unfortunately weren't in a great headspace when it happened. Can we guarantee citizen rights and still have freedom from guns? No, you can't. Citizen rights are the Bill of Rights. It's the Bill of Rights. And to have freedom from guns means to take out the Second Amendment. And to guarantee that we have all of our citizen rights means to keep the Second Amendment. So you can't just have both, you can't have both at the same time. It never worked. People wouldn't want to be limited on just having one specific type of gun when this is supposed to be America, land of the free. You're supposed to be free to have whatever you want. So you can't just have both. You have to have one or the other. And most people aren't just going to side with one or the other. There's always a conflict. But we do need guns. In 2014, Vox did a report on Cliven Bundy, who he and his town, so people in his town, had an actual standoff with some of the U.S. government because the U.S. government wanted to forcefully take his land, and Cliven and the people that backed him believed that the government shouldn't have been able to do that. And in the end, Cliven kept his land and the government left him alone because the civilians had their own type of military weapons. So we do need guns. That's what the Second Amendment was made for, so that the government couldn't overstep and just do what it wants. We also still need guns because violence would still happen without them. We had violence well before we had guns, and we'll have violence well after guns are old and rusted and we've got the latest plasma rifle or something. Violence will still happen. In England, The Guardian did a report in 2019 that said over 45,000 knife incidents happened and someone was hurt in those incidents. 45,000 incidents. And that's just way too many. If you can't just have guns and expect the violence to just appear or disappear with the guns. We also need them for protection. 14,400 gun-related killings happened in the U.S. in 2019, and that came from BBC News. And it's just sad that that happens, but without guns, if certain people did or didn't have guns, that number wouldn't be, it would go up. So guns aren't bad, they're more like tools, and the wrong people tend to use tools and get more light shined on them than the people that use it for something good, like the military or police. So we do need guns because they aren't bad.